Excellent. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to episode number 3 of How We Are Making Our First Million. On this episode, we have Jada, a 19-year-old college student studying sports medicine. She's currently living in Washington, D.C., but originally she is from Jacksonville, Florida. Jada, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes, definitely. I'm so excited to be here.
Excellent, excellent. And Jada, comparison can be a very healthy thing, or it could be a very negative thing, right? Based on the intention, right? So like comparisons can be super healthy or super toxic, right? It all depends on how the comparisons are used. And on this show, we're all about going into really exposing like real life examples so that people can be inspired, you know what I'm saying? Because we're all on a journey, right? Every journey is unique, but it's amazing how we can learn from each other's journey, right?
Right.
And so this show is very personal, but the purpose of it is so that it can be an inspiration, so that we can, be inspirational and we can give insights about, how to make the right decisions, how to grow, how to learn, So I'm really excited about diving in. First question is this. What is your dream career? And when I say dream career, what I mean is what is at the intersection of what you enjoy, what you're good at, and what you would be paid for? What is your dream career?
So my dream career right now, I do dance for the Washington football team, but I want to stay in the NFL NBA industry. And with my major sports medicine, I either want to be a physical therapist for an NBA or NFL team or athletic trainer, somewhere in the realms of that industry. And to be a little more specific, I do want to be either in good financial standing by 35, a millionaire by 40, something along the realms of that. But yes.
Excellent. So I hear dancing, dance performance. I hear sport health. So I mean, I guess kind of like science. Was science like a major passion of yours growing up?
Yeah, definitely. So kind of back in high school, I went to Douglas Anderson School of the Arts. It was an art school. My major was dance. But I really felt comfortable in biology, and I had good grades in it, and it was super fun. So that kind of went with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great that you're really focusing on your passion. You're really focusing on that intersection of, what you enjoy, what you're good at, and what you would be paid for, So that's great. That is great. How long do you have until graduation?
So currently right now I am on track to graduate early. I came in with some college credits from high school, and I did take some different classes for college while I was in high school. But my graduated estimated year is 2024, but we're looking at 2023, hopefully, wherever it takes me.
Yeah, awesome. So tell me this, Jada, what is your ideal life exactly 20 years from now? So currently you're 19 years old. So exactly 20 years from now, you will be 39 years old, 39. So imagine your life at 39 and describe to us what is your ideal life at that age?
Great question. My ideal life at 39, 20 years from now, hopefully in a nice house, having my own practice, physical therapy, or an athletic trainer, a lot of people under me, mentoring people, making big bucks, hopefully, married, maybe have some kids. In California, hopefully. California is very expensive, but I do want to kind of branch out into the West Coast. So yeah.
Awesome. So now here's the thing. My vision for you, as well as my vision for all of the, dancers on our team, is that you guys become financially free, right? And it's amazing you even mentioned it. And you mentioned how, you even have some defined targets for your financial freedom. And that's excellent. And so here's the thing. When I say financial freedom, what I mean is that you're at a position where your passive income is greater than your cost of living, right? And so, and just to clarify, you know, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the mission, right? It's about really being able to be in a position where you have the options and the opportunity to do what you love, right? Where money is not a barrier, but it's not about the money. It's really about the mission. It's really about achieving the purpose that you are here on earth to achieve, right?
Right.
Everyone has a God-given purpose, a God-given mission, right? And so money is just one of the many tools that helps us to achieve that purpose. You know, I love this quote. It says, money is a terrible master, but a wonderful servant. Money is a terrible master, but a wonderful servant. And so, you know, I focus a lot on money, but I never want a viewer to think that money is the priority, because really it's the mission. Money is just a tool. And you know, we are here to be good stewards over all the blessings that God gives us, and money is just one of those blessings, right? So that's what I'm really excited about. Now, here's the thing. There's a story in the book called The 4-Hour Work Week. There's a story called The Mexican Fisherman's Story. And basically, the basic story is about this very wealthy businessman from the United States goes to Mexico on a vacation. And he sees this Mexican fisherman in a small village fishing, and he's really good at it. He's able to catch some really good fish. And the American businessman approaches the fisherman and is like, hey, look, you know, how long have you been out here fishing? And the Mexican fisherman said, oh, only just, you know, an hour or so. And you know, and he's been very effective at catching these fish. And so basically the American businessman explains to the Mexican fisherman about how he can help him grow his business, and you know, he can really expand the business and develop the marketing, and then move to Mexico City, and then eventually move to New York City, and just really expand. And the Mexican fisherman is like, well, then what, right? And the American businessman is like, yeah, then you'll be able to, build this company, and then have stock and all this, blah, blah, blah. And the Mexican fisherman is like, well, okay, and then what? And finally, the American businessman gets to a point where it's like, okay, and then after like 20, 30 years, you can sell the company, and then you can retire. And then you can live this lifestyle where, you know, you can come back to this small village, and you can, focus time having with your family and with your friends and everything, right? And the purpose, though, the message of the story is that the Mexican fisherman, even though in the eyes of that American businessman, he wasn't successful, but the Mexican fisherman was really enjoying his quality of life. He was really living his ideal life, even at that level of his business, at that small level of business. He was really enjoying his life. He had family, he had friends, he was enjoying his life. And so the main thing is realizing that it's really not about the money, it's about the lifestyle. It's about doing stuff that really fulfills us, you know? So that's awesome. Now, here's the thing. Active income versus passive income, right? Now, we talk about your passive income being greater than your cost of living. So we want to clarify what's the difference between active income and passive income. Well, active income is trading time for money, right? And I mean, active income is where all of us start off, right? When, you know, we're working jobs, we're working, we're getting paid for our services, right? We're getting paid. And so that's active income. But here's the thing. It's so important that all of us, put effort into building passive streams of income, right? Passive income. Because passive income is investing time into building systems that make you money and require either none of your time or only a small amount of your time, you know? So, examples of that would be like, a common example would be like the stock market, right? So like, for example, investing into a mutual fund, like a Roth IRA, right? A retirement fund, right? Where it's like you're investing and the money is making money for you. and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
require any of your time, right? So the stock market, getting into mutual funds is important. Real estate, right? Whether it's being a private lender for house flippers or getting rental properties, flipping homes, whatever. Real estate is such a powerful tool for building wealth, right? So real
Right.
also business ownership that is not dependent on your presence. All right. So two types of business ownership. One is if you own a business and you're working in the business and you're trading your time for money, right? Active income. But another side of business ownership is where you own the business and you're getting passive income because the business is not dependent upon your presence. So for example, intellectual property is a great example of this, right? Like if you write a book and you're getting royalties, right? Passive income. If you develop an online course and you're getting, and you're selling that course, but it doesn't require, if it's pre-recorded, right? If it doesn't require you, if it doesn't require your presence, then, that's passive income coming in, right? So basically what I'm saying is this: instead of always having to use your active income to pay for your cost of living, focus on acquiring assets, right? Stock market, real estate, business ownership, right? Focus on acquiring assets that will generate passive income to pay for your cost of living. So that is the main like blueprint regarding building passive income, right? Is being able to invest in systems, invest in assets that generate passive income. Now, focusing on your life, and it's great, you're only 19 years old. And so one of the awesome things about that is that you have so much time. And that's what's needed, right? In order for investments to grow is time. The unfortunate thing about it is that a lot of people wait until later on in their life to start investing. And it's so important to start early because when starting early, even if you start with only a small amount of money, investing only a small amount of money consistently, the power of compound interest will really take effect and will really grow that amount. So let's look at this financial blueprint, because before we jump into investing, it is important though to have certain bases covered, right? So I would say number one is this emergency fund. Everyone needs to have an emergency fund of cash that's easily accessible, right? You do not want to be in a situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? One of the things that we've learned about this pandemic is how dangerous it is to live paycheck to paycheck, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that were hit the hardest regarding this whole COVID pandemic were the ones that were living paycheck to paycheck. And so here's the thing. And what's interesting is that I think that's one of the reasons why talking about money has become so very sensitive, because there's so much like guilt and shame around it. But we have to change that perspective. We have to change the perspective to say, look, not all of us are starting at the same starting points. And not all of us have been given the same amount of financial literacy education, right? But we have to realize that we have to let go of any type of like shame or guilt and realize that as we know better, we do better,
Right.
So here's the thing, emergency fund. So now in your situation, right? So like, do you like, I guess you're in school. Are you in school with student loans, or are your parents helping, or what's your situation in terms of your college education?
Yeah, definitely. So I've gotten some scholarships with the school as well, and then also loans, and then just kind of like my parents' help and all of that stuff.
Okay.
And like I currently have a job now, so I kind of like pitch in as well, just so it's like not all on her. But yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So then your student loans, of course, you won't have to start to pay it back until after you graduate, right?
Right.
Gotcha. All right. And then then there's difference, right? I mean, some scholarships and then some grants and then student loans, right? So I mean, student loans. So in terms of the scholarships, so those are like pure scholarships where you don't have to pay it back, right? Is that right? Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. So student loans. Okay. And then now in terms of like an emergency fund. Now, of course, because you're so young, right, and because you do have that family support, you know, you're not in a situation where you're like totally out on your own, right, and everything. So of course, you do have that like anchor. You do have anchors in your life, right? You know,
Right.
but it's still at the same time though, it is good to have some level of an emergency fund. Now, your emergency fund perhaps wouldn't need to be as extensive as like someone else's emergency fund that was like totally independent, but still it's important to have an emergency fund. So how much would you say is in your emergency, like how much, like for example, if your income stopped with your part-time job, right, how long would you say you'd be able to basically survive based on an emergency fund? Like how much worth, but put it this way, how many months of your living expenses do you have accessible in cash, would you say?
I actually don't carry cash with
Okay.
me. I keep everything like in an account.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But if
Okay.
if
Yeah, wait,
I
wait, wait, wait. So here's the thing. When I say just cash, I mean like accessible, like an actual bank account where you can actually access the cash quickly.
right, right, right.
Okay.
So I would probably say like a good amount would definitely be like maybe 1,500
Mm-hmm.
or like 2,000. If I would have started saving like closer to like when I got my first job, which is when I was like 16, if I started saving then, it would probably be a lot more now. But definitely probably like 1,500. And like especially now, there's so many different factors that factor into taking money away. Like I get my nails done, like I get my hair done, like makeup, all that stuff. But if I those are not essential, so once I deduct those, then I can actually be more financial stable or things like that.
Gotcha. Yes. Excellent. 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 Oh, so you do have an emergency fund of cash, and when I say cash, I just mean like it's easily accessible, right? Easily accessible.
Right.
Excellent. So emergency fund. Okay. And then becoming debt free. So other than the student loan, do you have any debts in terms of like credit card debt or car loan or any type of debt?
Currently, no.
Okay. That's
I just got like 2 credit cards that my mom helped me with, and I've been paying those on time. So currently, no.
oh, good. That's excellent. And by the way, speaking of the credit cards, yes, you know, and we're going to talk a little bit about credit score in a little bit. And so that's so important to pay on time because the number one factor that impacts your credit score is your payment history, right? So you definitely always want to pay it on time. That's excellent. Excellent. So now, number three is invest to build passive income, right? Invest to build passive income. Here's the thing, starting young to invest, as I mentioned, is such a huge thing, right? Because you have more time for that money to compound, right? Now, compound interest, and you understand what compound interest is? Compound interest is where you're making interest not only on the original investment, but also you're making interest on the interest that is made, right? So for example, you invest, let's say you're investing $100 a month into a Roth IRA stock mutual fund, like an index fund, say. All right. So and so you keep investing. And here's the thing though, is that the interest that you make is not only on the original amounts, that $100 a month, but
Mhm.
also as you're making interest, the interest is getting reinvested into the account. And so therefore you're making interest on the previous interest that was earned. And so they call it compound interest because it's compounding. And so the power of compound interest is so amazing because, like, due to the power of compound interest, if you invest just $100 per month in a Roth IRA from, say, for 40 years, so in your case, from age 19 to 39, right? From age 19 to 39, if you invest just $100 a month into, you know, like the stock market, through, I'm using the example of a Roth IRA because a Roth IRA is a special type of retirement account where your money grows tax-free. So there's no taxes involved, right? So so a Roth IRA is a great use for an example because the money is growing tax-free. And so if you invest $100 a month into a Roth IRA from age 19 to age 39, 40 years, that one account can easily grow to be over $1 million because of the power of compound interest. All right. Now, of course, the stock market, it goes up and down and everything, right? But on average, like over the long term, it always goes up, always goes up. So one of the things is so crucial is to start early to invest. Start early. Do you think that you'd be able to allocate at least like $100 per month into investing, like into your budget, into, like,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I've actually, it's funny that you bring that up because I wanted to start looking into different ways to start investing, especially in stocks, just so like when I get to that point, then I'm like, oh, I have like some extra money. So yeah.
Excellent. Yes, excellent, excellent, excellent. Yes, very good, very good. Yeah, and then that's key. One of the keys to financial literacy is this: never invest in something that you don't understand. So it's so important. I like how you said that you want to start to, educate yourself and like
Hmm.
look into the different types of investment vehicles, right? So that you'll make the right decision, and then that's so key, right? Sometimes people will rely on other people's opinions, but no, it's so important that you fully understand the investment. Right? So that's awesome, awesome, awesome. So now, here's the thing. Now let's take a step back, and also too. Oh, here's the thing about investing. It's so important to make it routine. It has to be automatic, right?
Hmm.
Because you don't want to rely on your discipline to do it every month, right? Make it
Right.
automatic. So once you do, set up that account, make it where there's an automatic transfer from your checking account into the investment account, right? Automatically every
Gotcha.
month, because that way you don't have to think about it. It's just automatic, right? So that's important. But speaking of habits, because daily habits become automatic, right? It's so
Hmm.
important to set up habits, automated, like automated systems, right? In a way.
Hmm.
Tell me this though: do you have a morning routine, like something you do in the morning that helps you to get ready for the day, to jumpstart the day? It could be anything, like maybe praying or Bible study or exercise or journaling or anything. I mean, anything in particular?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely wanted to get started back exercising in the morning, kind of getting a routine with my school schedule. And now that we are registering for new classes, trying to get a schedule for that. But I do take a shower every morning. I take one at night as well. So it's kind of like it's waking me up and I do like do my skincare. I used to do a smoothie every morning. It's a like a protein smoothie. It's a meal supplement. But yeah, I do open the Bible app every day to kind of read the verse of the day and kind of get me prepared for what the day has to come. So
That's excellent, excellent, excellent. That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, morning routine is so key. Now, here's the thing: home ownership preparation. You mentioned that you plan to own a home and everything,
mhm,
and it's so important to start early to prepare for home ownership, right?
right.
Start early. Because here's the thing: I mean, three main things that really impacts, right, home ownership ability is, number one is the down payment for the home, right?
Hmm.
I mean, having a down payment is key, right? Um,
Right.
and then number two, and when I say down payment, I mean down payment, but also see the lender when they're qualifying you for the loan, they'll also look at what type of reserves you have. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like how much money you even have in reserves. You know, um, so that's all. That's so key. So down payment and reserves. Number two is credit score. Credit score,
Hmm.
right? That's so key when trying to buy a home. I mean, and what's wild is that your credit score will have a huge influence on what your interest rate would be. So people who don't have as good of credit score, they have to actually are forced to pay more interest with their mortgages, right? So it's so
Hmm.
important to have a good credit score, to start early to nurture a good credit score. So we talked about how paying on time is so key.
Hmm.
That's great that when you opened up those credit cards, you've been paying it on time. Also, another thing that's really key is called credit utilization. So what happens is this: another major factor that dictates your credit score is they look at how much of your available credit you're actually using. And so the key is to make sure that you're only using a small portion of the available credit that you have, because that credit utilization will help to boost your credit score, right? So you want to keep it under like 30%, under 30%. You can keep it under 15%, that's even better. But definitely you want to keep your credit utilization to be low. And so now a trick to that is every once in a while, you want to call your credit card companies and ask them for an increase in your limits, right? Because think about it, if you have a increased limit of available credit, that means that means your credit utilization will decrease if you keep your spending habits the same, right? And when that decreases, it really helps your credit score, right? So it helps to keep you under that, like, it helps you to maintain a very small percentage of actual credit use compared to your available credit. So number one is credit payment history. And then number two is credit utilization. Those two things are the biggest things regarding your credit score. Now, there's also other things that go into it, but I mean, those two are the main things to really be mindful of. So that's awesome. And then, so we talk about, down payment, talk about credit score. Number three is stable income, right? Having stable income. Now you're getting a great education and everything. And so just be mindful that, having steady income, it really, of course, really helps you. It puts you in a good position to be able to qualify for a home, to get into a home. So now, what about this? What about cars? One of the things that trips people up is bad decisions regarding buying cars the wrong way, right? What's your situation in terms of car? Like, do you currently have a car, and what's your situation?
Gotcha. Yeah, I do currently have a car. I help my mom with the payments, just so she's not paying it by herself and like kind of having some adult instincts now that I'm older. But yeah, I do have a car. Yes.
Awesome. And I mean, one of the key things is, car maintenance, what I'm saying? I mean, it saves
Yeah.
time, right? To get getting the oil changed and stuff, all that. And even learning a little bit about, things, is helpful too, right? I mean, just learning just basic things about, oil changes and stuff, just to kind of be able to kind of learn the terminology just helps, because when you're talking to mechanics, if they know that you know a little something, right? Then it it helps you to not to be taken advantage of, right?
Right.
That's awesome. So yeah, so that's that. So now here's the thing about budgeting, right? So here's the thing. I mean, a lot of times people, have this negative reaction in terms of budgeting, but really budgeting is really about telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went, right? And the great thing about being aware of your cash flow, being aware of the money that's coming in and the money that's going out, that awareness helps you to have better control over your finances, right? Awareness builds control. And just being aware of it is so very helpful. So I want to run through like your financial budgets. And we can use just round numbers, you can estimate things, but like, what would you say is like your monthly income coming in, or like a round number of your monthly income? Now, I know that, right? Of course, you do the mitzvah parties, right? You got the
Yeah.
And it's not it's not steady, although it's a nice stream of income that comes in. So far with the mitzvah parties, would you say that that's been like at least once a month or so, or whatever? I mean, it's I know you're really new, but what would you say?
Probably, I know I did two, I think last month. So far, maybe like twos, maybe, or like one or two, maybe, something like that.
Okay. Okay. So okay.
Yeah.
Seasonal too, right? Like so
Right.
like the holidays,
Right.
it's gonna like shut down, but then it's gonna come back. But maybe if we average it out for the whole year, maybe it's like at least one a month or
Yeah.
one every 2 months or so. If you average it out for the whole year, maybe. Okay.
Right.
So thinking of that, but then also thinking of like the other job. So what is the other what is the other job that you have?
So yeah, I work as a receptionist for Pico Acupuncture and Wellness. It's in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then all right, so with that, and then okay, so if you had to round, what would you say is your total average monthly income coming in?
Let's say it's probably around maybe like between like 15 and 2K maybe when it all like kind of boils down to when you like look at what you spend, you're like, oh, okay. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No. So I'm just talking about the income though, right? I'm not talking about the expenses, right? I'm just talking about like.
Right. No, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. All right. So we're saying somewhere between 15 and 2,000. All right. So for this purpose, let's say 2,000. All right. So 2,000 income. All right. So 2,000 income. And then let's go through an exercise where we're just you know, estimating out certain cash outflows, right? So for example, so you're not paying any type of rent, right? Or anything, or do you?
Um,
Like a monthly rent. You're not paying rent.
not really, no.
Okay.
No.
All right. Don't worry. What about cell phone or are you on the family plan? It's like a family.
Family plan.
Okay, family plan. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You're not paying any type of cell phone. Okay. What about like some so I'm gonna separate this out. There's eating out charges, right? Eating out. And then there's like groceries, right? So are you on the meal plan at school or are you buying your own groceries?
I buy my own groceries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you to estimate what do you think is your monthly average cost of groceries? Just a round number, say.
Maybe like 250.
Okay, 250 a month. 250. Because how many day how many times a month do you typically go to the grocery store? Would you say?
See, that's the thing. I don't go that often. I'm not always hungry either. So I
Yeah.
and like or I'll just eat like ramen or something, but I'm not always that hungry, so I don't have the need to like go to the grocery store every day. And like sometimes I cook. I just cooked last night, so I don't like grocery shop a lot, but
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
probably yeah.
You think maybe around 250 a month. Okay.
Yeah, maybe
All right.
200 to yeah.
Okay. What about eating out? All right. So how much do you think you spend on eating out every month? And that would even include like minor things like going to get drinks at Starbucks or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's all types of eating out.
Let's say maybe 100.
Okay, maybe $100.
100, yeah.
Okay. All right, eating out. All right. What about like clothes shopping, I guess? And of course you're not going shopping every single month, but if you were to kind of like average it out for the whole year, what would be the monthly budget for clothes, would you say?
Um, Probably about 200. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, 150. 150.
150 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 150 a month for clothes, which includes shoes. It includes all types of clothes, right? Okay. All right.
Right.
All right. And then so all right. And then your insurance, you're kind of still on like the family plan insurance, right? And everything.
Correct.
Okay. With your okay, and then the rent, so you're not really paying any type of rent and you're not paying any type of utilities or internet charges or anything.
I do pay for my housing
Okay.
for Howard. It's like 400.
A
Like
month?
um
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 400 a month. Okay. So that's like the rent then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Because there's like no utilities or anything like that. Just like kind of like a flat rate.
Oh, I got you. So the utilities is included. Okay. Everything.
Right. Yes.
And what about like your Wi-Fi and stuff? You know, it's all included.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So that's that. What about, are you ever taking well, how about this? How about gas?
I was just about to say that. Yeah. Gas. Especially since prices are going up. It's probably about like $35.
Each time? Each time you go to fill up, you mean? Or per month, you're thinking average per month?
Oh, average per month is probably like maybe 70, probably like $100 per month.
Right, $100 per month. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
because you probably are what, filling up maybe about 2 or 3 times.
yeah.
Okay.
And like with my car specifically, like it eats gas very easily. So I have to like fill up a lot more.
I see. Yeah. All right. And then let's see. So that's that. And then what about like entertainment stuff? Like do you know, like what type of what type of money, like what type of expenses do you have that's related to like entertainment? Like do you go to like movies or concerts or whatever?
Um, Not really. When I have time, like very, very rare.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, not really. I'll just watch Netflix or something.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
How much is the Netflix? Yeah, are you paying, or is it like the family type of thing?
Yeah, it's a family thing.
Okay, good. So, any other expenses that you can think of other than, you know, the groceries, the eating out, the clothes, the rent, and then gas? What? Oh, you said the
Oh,
nails and stuff.
self-care. Yes.
Self care. Okay, yeah. Self.
Self-care.
Okay.
I would say probably my nails plus my hair is probably like 300 together
A month, right?
a month. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 300 a month self care. All right. Um, Anything else? Any type of like membership stuff that you have, or membership fees or anything like health gym club, uh, health club
Um,
fees? No.
well, it's like a new organization, but we just like only paid like one due, and that was just half of that.
Hmm.
But that was about it. It's only 120, but we've only paid like half, so it was only 60. But if you
And
wanna, that's
and
not monthly
60
though.
lasts for how long? Like how long? Is it for the whole year?
Yeah, for the until the next semester or until next fall semester when we have to pay dues again. But
Oh, I see. Okay, so
yeah, it's only like
would it extend even towards? I mean, through the summer then too, or no?
it's only
Just
August
okay.
through May.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so see. Okay, so what would let's see, August through May. Um, okay, so you want to say that that's kind of like $10, I guess, something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
right. Okay, $10. Because what is August through May? I mean, because in a way, it's like late August, right? When you get in,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like a 6 months, I guess you could say. Okay, so we'll say $10 for it's the gym membership.
It's an organization for girls.
Oh,
Yeah. You
okay.
can
Oh,
yeah.
a membership, $10.
Yeah, membership.
Okay, so membership. All right, $10 membership. Okay, and then anything else that comes to mind? Any type of like other cost?
I think that's
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
Um
Yeah. Oh, what about like any type of like giving? I know that it might not be like a system thing, but maybe like some type of, you know, giving, even if it's to friends or to
hmm.
charity or to different causes or whatever. Well, if you average it out, maybe, or would you,
um
not really?
I would probably say maybe $30 or $20 maybe,
Okay.
like monthly or
Okay, $20 a month to like giving. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then anything else you can think of? No. That's pretty much it, huh? You think that's pretty much
yeah.
okay. All right. So now let's do let's calculate what this would be, this estimate. So let's see. Let's see. All right. So we're taking 2000 minus 250 minus 100 minus 150 minus 400 minus 100 minus 300 minus 10 minus 20. And then, and you know, we should probably do a miscellaneous. Like there's just like miscellaneous stuff that comes up, right? You know what I'm saying? So how much is like a miscellaneous expense that will come up every once in a while? What would you say for miscellaneous?
Yeah, I would say just $100, like oil changes or car.
Oh yeah.
Car, yeah. Probably like a good $100.
Okay, so you know what? That should be a separate thing. So car maintenance would be like a separate thing because every once in a while you might need to change tires or whatever.
Right.
Or
yeah.
And so all right, so car maintenance is that. But then what about miscellaneous, which would be just random other stuff? What would you say that would be?
Probably like $50.
50, okay.
Yeah. Or we could say 75.
Okay, 75.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. 75. All right, so let's see. 20, okay, so we're taking off the 100 minus 75. Okay. Now, how much do you, if you were to guess, how much do you think you have left over? If you just to guess, just a guess.
Probably maybe like $500.
Very good.
Maybe 400.
Okay, so this number then, of course, these are rounded numbers and stuff, estimated numbers. But yeah, 495. 495. Yeah. So that's awesome. Awesome. So now here's the thing. Is that, you know, with this, right? Now, of course, these are just budgeted numbers. Of course, you know, as you know, real life doesn't always match our like estimates and everything, right? But one of the things that's so important is to keep track and kind of like compare your budget with the actual spending, just kind of to be aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Just to be aware of how, because it's so important just to be aware of how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, because it's just, the awareness helps us to make better decisions, you know, and to control the money. So now 495. Now just think, if you could take just $100, just start off with just $100, right, of this excess and invest it automatically into, you know, the stock market, into a Roth IRA. Like I keep saying a Roth IRA because it grows. It's a retirement account that grows tax-free. And so, you know, and from starting now, the age of 19, by the time you reach 39, you can, that one account, just that one account can easily be over $1 million. You can easily hit that goal of becoming a millionaire, you know, by before 40, but you have to start now to do the right thing. And a lot of it comes from the power of compound interest. You can't save your way to becoming a millionaire, really, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't just save money because of inflation. Is really, you'll be working backwards even, right? Because of inflation. The $1,000 today is not the same as $1,000 10 years from today, you know. So so that's awesome. So yeah, that's what that is. So let's see. Okay, so now question for you is okay. So question for you is this: what are some ideas? So you have a job as a receptionist. You have the dancing business, right? Because it's so multiple, right? Because you got the mitzvah party motivator, but also
Mm-hmm.
your job as an NFL dancer too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what are some other what are some additional ideas that you have? Like, for example, and I'm talking about things that you really enjoy, right? So like, are you ever interested in like choreography stuff or like dance fitness stuff? Or what are some ideas?
So yes, it would be really cool to do some choreography. Like I would just be like playing around and like making up some different kinds of choreography. I'll record it and then like I probably won't ever look at it again. But I know I did want to start a just kind of like a class like on the yard at my school, kind of just like teaching a class. Like it could literally be like $5 or like $2 just for something like some like people to come together, have fun. Um, I've also recently been doing makeup as well. I want to get into makeup a lot more. Like I already do like makeup on myself, but I want to do it on other people and kind of have another stream of income coming in. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now, would you take certain classes like to in makeup artists? And so basically, so basically that business would be working as a makeup artist in a way, right?
Right. Yes. There are classes for that, but I feel like I've done makeup since I was small. So it would kind of be like an entrepreneurship or like
Yes.
self-taught MUA, kind of like that. So
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Excellent. So tell me, I mean, how serious is that? Because I know that you got a lot of stuff. You got schoolwork, you got the job, and you got the side hustles with the dancing. What would be, because I always like when someone mentions a goal, an idea, I always like to encourage them to set a target date. Because you know how it is, how, we as humans have a tendency to procrastinate, right? We will
mm.
procrastinate things. But if we have a target, so tell me this, by what date do you want to aim for starting that makeup artist business?
Definitely. So I kind of already have a date in plan. I kind of want to have like my page up and kind of still working on faces just so I know I'm prepared when I do kind of branch out and start it. But before the new year.
Wow, that's awesome.
Before the new
Okay.
year.
You're
Yeah.
serious. Okay. Okay. That's excellent. Before the new year to have that business. And the great thing about that is that it's flexible to fit around your schedule, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
people, as your clients come in and then you can, schedule them for appointments and stuff. So that's excellent.
Right.
In terms of marketing, so of course, word of mouth will be big on your marketing.
Hmm.
Do you also plan to maybe to have like a Facebook business page kind of to advertise what you're doing?
Yeah, definitely. So I definitely want to make an Instagram page as well. Facebook, yes, I know a lot of people, a lot of like the older crowd, they use Facebook and kind of like my generation, like they use Instagram a lot more. But kind of like on both. I know my mom, she has like a parent group chat for um like all the parents of Howard University kids and like all stuff like that. So definitely word of mouth, posters, flyers I can put around campus, um, kind of just a lot of stuff wherever
Yes,
I takes
that's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
And another big thing is if you network with photographers, because
Hmm.
a lot of these photographers, they are always in need of makeup artists.
Right.
Some of them, especially those that like focus on those on that type of photography, right? So to be able to network and to be able to become like the go-to makeup artist for certain photographers is will really help the business grow as well. So that's
Right.
good.
Right.
That's excellent, 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 awesome. So now, Jada, tell me this: as we're closing, as we're winding down, some feedback questions for you. All right. Number
Mhm.
one is this: how was this session useful to you? What about this session was useful? Like, so I mean, we talk about many different things. What would be some of the things that you're going to take with you from this session?
Definitely. So the two biggest things I took was kind of your outlook on income, the passive income and the active income, and investing into something like machines, programs that are going to make money and not spending as a lot of time. Um, Definitely passive and active income, compound interest, investing now rather than later. Um, yeah, and definitely an emergency fund. Yes, do have one now, but my discipline is not as strong as it should be. So I definitely want to build that up a lot more and definitely becoming financial literate in kind of all things investment and stocks and all of that fun stuff.
Yes, awesome, awesome, awesome. Excellent, excellent. And now, what did you like about this session here? But what was it that you liked about the format and the style of this webinar?
Yeah, definitely. So I liked the different numbers, like the order, so it's easier to kind of for my brain and kind of to write it out on paper, like first step, second step, third step. I like the breakdown of the budget.
Mm.
Um, I liked everything, and I like the color coordination. It like it helps my eyes because it's like it focuses on like the different points. That's really cool as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, those would have to be the big two things. And I like the quote as well. The money is a terrible master, but a wonderful
Servant.
service.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, wonderful
Yeah.
servant. Yes, yes, terrible master, but wonderful servant. Awesome, awesome. So now, my last question for you is this. This is key. This is a big one. Is this what new goals are you committed to really committing to, today? Like what are some new goals? Or it could be, goals that you've already had, but now, you are committed to really becoming serious about it?
hmm Um, Definitely a big one would be to kind of reconsider where I put my money and not use it so, I don't want to say lousily, but really think about where I want it to go. Like you said, like you just tell your money where it goes and it goes there. Um, yeah, just really think about where my money goes and kind of evaluate how I want my future to look 20 years from now. And yeah, just really evaluate like kind of what I want and where I want my money to go.
Excellent, excellent. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Wow. Jada, I tell you, this has been really awesome. You have such a bright future, and this is going to be exciting to see your journey. To see your journey. So that's excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for coming on this show, and
Thank
definitely we'll
you.
have to like bring you back on the show like
Oh,
in a
definitely.
few months to kind of get an update about how things are going.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon.
You as well. Have a good day.
All right. Bye.